Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Full Range Fitness with Kelly Range, where I help you clear the clutter, take charge, and jumpstart your journey to awesome. We are broadcasting live on the End Resultz Radio Network from the Perimeter Roofing Studio inside the Country Inn and Suites by Radisson Hotel in the beautiful Stone Mountain, Georgia. Awesome. So today I have a beautiful guest. Her name is Camille Gonzalez, and Camille is the owner of Faithful Fitness, Health, Wellness, Lifestyle. So first off, Camille, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
It's so good to see you and be with you always. And let's go. I want to pass this over to you. You tell me about yourself.
Yeah, sure. But before I do, I have to return that thanks to you, Kelly. Ever since we've met, you've been so welcoming, so open. And we've always had this energy connection that's just undeniable. So when you asked me to be on this podcast, it was like no questions asked.
Yay.
So I'm glad that I could make time to be available here and to share this energy with you.
Awesome. Thank you.
But yes, as Kelly mentioned, I'm Camille Gonzalez. I'm owner of Faithful Fitness, Health, Wellness, and Lifestyle. I am a health scientist by trade, but also a health educator, a certified personal trainer, and a certified nutrition coach, amongst a bunch of other things. All around great person who likes to help other great people and love to engage in conversations and opportunities that help to share information that move the lives of people forward.
I love it. So what you're saying is you're very smart.
I don't know if that's necessarily the word. I think
You
I'm
are.
very intentional.
Yes.
And with any information that I do have, I like to make sure that I don't hoard it, because we are here on this planet to ensure that we are helping every single one of us to move forward in some sort of way to secure our optimal health.
That is awesome. And I've learned with owning a business, a lot of times people don't want to talk about what they're doing right. And they'll ask questions and they'll do well, I mean, if you're okay sharing that information, I'm like, I am an open book. I'm going to tell you I did A, B, and C, and it was the biggest flop. And then in the flip side, I've done A, B, and C, and it worked pretty well. So
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's what we should do. Share the love, girl.
Amen, sister.
All right, well, let's dive into some conversation. First off, I would love to just kind of go back and let everybody know how we met.
The randomness.
Yes.
But so
Random, but not random.
Yeah, random, but not random. So if you recall, I was interested in Les Mills, just teaching Les Mills, more so doing group fitness, but then I discovered the format of Les Mills. And your studio, along with one other one, doesn't really matter, was the studios that had Les Mills available. And so just on a whim, I reached out to you and I was like, hey, do you mind if I come and basically apprentice under you and your amazing staff? I love the ladies. And you were like, yeah. Again, one of those things where if you don't ask, you won't receive. So I asked and you opened your doors to me, and then it was kind of history from then.
Yeah, I love it. I always remember when I opened your email and I read it, and then I had to read it again, and I was like, is this from a person or a company? Am I getting audited? It was so organized and smart. It was awesome. And I'm like, this cool chick, super smart girl wants to come in here and possibly train under me. I was like, abso-freaking-lutely.
Well, you know what? Only returning the energy, because I did take a look at your personal profile, the profile of the business, and I knew I needed to come correct.
Yeah.
When it's someone like yourself who has built something out of your own passion and created such a welcoming community, there's no way that I could just barge in and be like, hey, pick me. I really needed to make sure that I offered you that energy and that synergy, and I'm so glad that you accepted.
Yes, of course. Well, I feel it. I'm picking up what you're putting down. So awesome. So that's kind of how we met. And for a while, you were an instructor at my facility and a personal trainer. And unfortunately, you had to stop, but not because you were stopping in your journey to awesome. It's because things really picked up for you. And so let's kind of pick up where we left off. tell me a little bit about how you came to be with your Faithful Fitness, and then how that's really correlated over to your job.
Yeah, for sure. So Faithful Fitness, Health, Wellness, and Lifestyle came to me in 2015. I had the money to make it LLC, but it just kind of sat because I needed some time to shape it. You know, we receive these messages. We may not have all the ideas or tools or experience to truly manifest it. So I am a supporter of take the time, think about it, hash it out, observe, learn from others, and see what it ends up becoming. And so in that becoming space was when I started my dissertation research, but also further exploring how I can become a community instructor, educator, and that's when I came to your studio. So it was two things happening simultaneously where the research was emerging, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I have this real life experience with a real life population that the world just collided. So when it comes to my research, I am doing research under the University of Illinois, Chicago. It's a Doctor of Public Health Leadership where we have the opportunity to really dive into issues that are happening in our community that we can then try through data and interviews, see if we can offer some solutions of how to make them better. So the issue that we have at hand is that when it comes to making the healthy choice the easy choice, there isn't always readily resources to be able to do that. But there are some cities, some states, and organizations who have done it very good. But what we're missing is how. How do they do it? Like you said, sometimes this information isn't just readily given to us. They may purposely not tell us.
Sure.
But when you're coming in from a researcher standpoint, I think the understanding is there that you're trying to create a model. And that model could then expand across the nation so that other people can replicate. And then as a whole, we can just make our communities healthier.
Love that.
And so as I was diving into that research, but then I found Studio 4. I was like, this is happening in real life here at this studio, specifically with the target population that you chose, which I think is just amazing, which is all women.
Yes.
And where I saw the value in that is that you were being very intentional about your business model, that although it was the passion of yours to just help people, you knew that in the community of women, there was a niche and there was a need, specifically because a lot of your members are mothers, they're aunts, they're business women. They carry so many different roles. So they're not just coming to Studio 4 just to work out, right? There's all these other elements that are helping them to become the best person that they are, but also in turn helping your business to manifest what it was intended to do, and then you as the owner to really live in your passion. And that's the example that we're looking to study in the research, because that's what's going to be sustainable over time.
Right.
So yeah, that's how the worlds merged.
That is so cool. I'm excited and honored, really, that you got to come into a space that was doing what you were looking to see done.
Yeah.
And that's pretty awesome that we came together. Definitely not on accident. So I want to go a little bit deeper into when you say something that we can sustain on our own. So talk to me about that a little bit.
Well, you know, as a business owner, money doesn't grow on trees. It doesn't. And so it does take the community. It does take the stakeholders, the people who care and who want to be involved to keep this thing alive.
Right.
I'm sure coronavirus hit you hard. But if it wasn't the essence of the community that you built, your investors, your own passion and dedication, the support of your family, it could have fell apart and disappeared.
Absolutely.
Rightfully so. And so that is a pure example of how we really need to rely on the things around us that all share a common goal to sustain these things in the health, fitness, wellness industry that are actually going to keep our populations healthy, that are actually going to reduce chronic disease, et cetera. I think a lot of times we're looking for the savior. Is it the government? Is it where can this extra money or support come from?
Right.
And we overlook the fact that it actually could be existing in our vicinities and in our communities, but we don't necessarily have solid documentation of that.
Right.
And that's why when I came into your studio, I was like, this this is it. It
Solid
exists.
documentation.
And it was like beaming light and women everywhere.
Yes.
The energies were flowing. I was like, this is a possibility. What we're missing is the capture of it, and also grasping the evidence from individuals like yourself to say, here's what we did. Here's what we did that didn't work. Here's what we did that actually did help us in some sort of way. Here's what we're still learning. And if we're trying to take this forward well into the future,
Right.
here's what we need to make sure that we transition with, because coronavirus was just this year. It could be something else that tries to take
Absolutely.
you out in the next year. But have you established some type of model that is going to allow you to pull it forward?
Right. And just saying that you are spot on with that. If I had not developed that personal relationship with the community and the members that come into my facility, we would have dissolved 100%. We lost, of course, a massive percent of our membership base over the course of the year. It wasn't immediate. But when it started just kind of rolling forward, what was 2 weeks became 2 months, became 6, became 12 months. I mean, people were having a hard time holding on to something that they felt like they couldn't access or they were not comfortable accessing. And I mean, I get it. Absolutely. Right. No one really knew. Right. So we're definitely having to emerge from sort of the ashes of that year. But I think we'll definitely emerge stronger.
Right. And I agree. But here's why I agree. I think it's undeniable that Studio 4 Fitness and the community that you built is part of making the healthy choice the
Simple.
Easy choice. I'm sure after some time, those women were at home just like, what was that one thing I used to do that used to be my escape or that used to give me community? And they thought about you.
Yeah.
They thought about the studio. They thought about the other members that they were there engaging with, because they knew that was part of their health outlook, right?
Right.
Even if it was just for a 30 or 45-minute class, they knew at some point, like, if I'm going to make healthy choices for myself, what's going to give me easy access to that? Studio 4 Fitness,
Right.
that
Absolutely.
community.
Yeah. I love that. It's true. It's what the business model is meant to do for women, especially. Not that men aren't important, but
We love y'all. But.
yeah, we love you. I got lots of children that are boys.
Right.
But, for a female, there are those very specific roles that we're called to, and we have to be very present and we have to be very intentional. And we feel like everybody is our responsibility.
Right.
Which is awesome and great, and I love that. But if you don't take care of yourself, you are not going to be successful taking care of everyone else.
Right.
And I think it's very easy to slip down on the list of to-dos, and we end up at the bottom, but then we end up depressed and anxious and stressed and sad, and everything else just kind of crumbles from that point.
Right. Well, on that note, I need to give you your flowers while you're here, because it's one thing for these women or their community to have the intent to want to be healthy, to want to pick themselves up out of that depression and those hard times, but they can't do that if they don't have access to the spaces and the things and the tools to be able to do that. And you have given them that access through Studio 4 and all these other amazing things that you do to cater to that community. And I think access plus intent is the ideal formula for us to ensure sustainability over time. I mean, you can put a gym anywhere, but it doesn't mean people are going to go, right? So you have to create that environment that is going to give them that intention, that's going to tug at them during those hard days to say, you know what, take your 30 minutes, your me time, and go to Studio 4. Woo-saw, engage, breathe, talk to whoever you needed to talk to there, and come back. But come back feeling refreshed, energized, knowing that your health is at an elevated level because you took time to what you had access to, because Kelly and her awesome team made it available to you. And that's what really secures sustainability over time.
Right. I mean, do all the ladies in Loganville hear this? Hello.
Saying, you know.
If you are in Loganville, Georgia, and you are a lady, you need to be at my fitness studio. Thank you, Camille. That was
Not
beautiful.
so shameless plug there.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, very cool. Yeah. So I want to go on a little bit more. I love how you talk about making the simple choice, the obvious choice. Say it how you say it.
Making the healthy choice the easy choice.
Healthy and easy. Yeah. I love it. So go into that just a little bit.
Yeah. So for example, with Faithful Fitness, Health, Wellness, and Lifestyle, when I was formulating, okay, what are we offering? There's a number of different areas of fitness. The obvious one is fitness, movement, right? Physical activity. How are we ensuring that we are not stagnant physically? Right. Then the health and wellness goes into a little bit more of a broader bucket because it can include things like mental health, nutrition, overall wellness, spiritual wellness, etc. And then the lifestyle, which is the key point, right, is to make sure that you are doing things that this becomes who you are, but that you're open to it shifting throughout the seasons of your life. Right. Because how you do health, wellness, and fitness as a single mom, or how you do it as a family-oriented person, or how you do it at age 20 versus age 50 are totally different. Right. And so we want to make sure that lifestyle doesn't mean, oh, I got it today and it's going to stay this way. That you have an understanding that all these different tools and learning opportunities that you've encountered throughout your life, you can take forward, inviting the shift that happens over time. And so with the business, those are kind of our three areas. And so our products and services fall in those different three areas. So for example, with fitness, we're going to have the fitness and nutrition app because everybody's on their phone and that's the thing, right? Then when it comes to health and wellness, I am developing an all natural supplement company because although the encouragement is to drink your water, eat right, 3 meals a day, snacks in between, we understand that all of us may not be able to maintain that. And so supplements come into play to do exactly that. Supplement what you already should be doing, right? Not dependency on supplement or protein shakes and things like that, but supplement what you already should be doing. And then in the lifestyle, this is where the coaching comes in, you know, because sometimes we all just need that extra push. Sure. We need that community. We need that facility like Studio 4 that's going to help us to look at this from lifestyle and our quality of life over our lifespan. Right.
I love that. You can't overlook the work that you have to do to make it work for you. Yeah. And I think when you have access to so many different people and so many different ideas, you want to, a cookie cutter plan, and it's just not going to happen. There's some legwork. You have to decide what's going to work best for you, and you may not get it right the first time. And just like you said, even if you do get it right, and when you get it right, your life changes. Yes. Yeah. And with change, we have to have a certain level of adaptability, or, you just kind of fall off the wagon. I see that a lot when even seasons change. It's like, okay, great, it's the school year and I'm in it to win it. Oh, it's the summer, I'm out of it. Okay, hold on, I'm going on vacation for a week. That means I'm not going to do anything the extra, 6 months that comes before and after. I mean, it has to be something that you are implementing into your life that you can take with you through all the seasons, 365 days a year. For sure. And there may be a starting point, but there's not an ending point.
At all.
Yeah. At all. You got to keep moving forward.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think I really want to shift a little bit over to social media. Yes. I know. So definitely your social media. That's kind of how I not remembered who you were, but you caught my eye. Again, just scrolling through, and you're doing amazing things on social media and through social media. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So when it comes to social media, I fought it. I fought it myself, particularly when all the algorithms and all those things. Because
Yes.
as health educators, as people who are in favor of people, we really just want to offer what we know and hope that they take it in. We don't want to have to deal with give it to them at this time because that's the time that they're going to see it most and all these other kind of things. However, that is the day and age that we are in, and it becomes extremely helpful when you learn what the platform is and how it functions so that you're able to reach your target population, right? And so my social media just started off with my personal account, which on I'm an Instagrammer.
Yes.
I'm trying to get better with the Facebooks
Sure.
and YouTubes and all this kind of thing. But I gravitated most to Instagram, which now we have the ability to link them all. So I'll start doing that. But my page is Camille G33. So CAMILLE and the number 33. And what I was posting was just my authentic self as a health educator, an athlete, all the things that I like to do to the extent that I could post on a regular basis.
Right.
And then from there, I do make sure my captions are very thorough. Again, that's the health educator in me. And then, as you mentioned, the people who read it and who actually take the time to look at it, you can see where they start to connect with it.
Sure.
But I understood that if, as a businesswoman, I was going to offer certain products and services, I needed to start filtering, right? Because not all of my followers or population that has become my community is coming to me for fitness or is coming to me for this one thing. And so in the social media world, you want to make sure that you're being a little bit targeted on what's going to meet the need or desire of your population. And so that's when I started to create the Instagrams for the different areas of my business. But here's the thing about your social medias. It is the way in which we connect with the population. And so you just have to think about the ways where you can do that and maximize on just establishing that connection, even if it's just with one person.
Right.
So if my 10-word caption caught somebody's eye, great. If my reel brought in certain views, great. But I think take away the pressure of what this whole social media world is and continue to be authentic and intentional about each post. And it'll do what it needs to do.
Right.
Even if it's just, I'm really not doing this to market my business. I'm just at the beach today and I want people to know that I'm enjoying these vibes. Somebody's going to catch on to that. It's going to resonate with them in some sort of way. You don't even have to be selling anything, but that can turn into a possible new member at Studio 4 Fitness, right? Because you're showing the authenticity of yourself, which also speaks for the community that you have at Studio 4. So I think one thing about social media, we need to remove the pressure of it all.
Absolutely.
And just understand that we do have to live in that space. But in living in that space, we are still living our true lives that just reflects through that social media.
Yeah, because we were talking a little bit earlier, if you create a persona that you aren't really that person, at some point the real you is going to shine through. So you better own it. And it's the whole thing. You're not everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay.
That's okay.
As a business owner, just like you said, sometimes I call it like the necessary evil, because if you don't have a presence on social media, especially in fitness, you really don't have a presence at all. And we also sort of tapped into how people are being, tagged as fitness influencers. And really, it's nothing more than them just posting a picture of themselves. And so you can really get caught up in the frustration of what people are actually looking at and buying into. And it's kind of like, well, where's the content? Like you said, when you're a health educator, where's the content? What are people getting from this? Besides just scrolling and looking and seeing a cute picture.
Right. And when I had that moment, as I mentioned to you, I had to check myself.
Yes.
Because if we're asking where is the content, I have it.
We have it.
And we're going to give it to you.
Yes.
And we're going to give it to you from a credible standpoint, from a standpoint of experience, a standpoint of honesty, authenticity, and transparency. And so eventually the right people who know how to sift through the mess that is on social media will find you, and they will connect with you, and they will rely on you for that credible information, to the extent where the influencers become us.
Right.
Because our ability to influence real life change outweighs
Absolutely.
the influence of the social media world, right?
I love that. And you nailed it when you said you have to give away the pressure of, oh, well, I have to have this many followers to be legit, and I have to have this many people watch whatever I'm putting on. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Like you said, it's about the one person that looks at it, that gets it, that has that aha moment and comes back for more. Because really what my big hang up was, that I told you this, for every one person that gets what you're doing, there's 50 other people that are making fun of you.
And that's not your tribe.
It's not. Yeah, that's not what it's about. So it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about educating people and trying to help them be the best that they can be.
Exactly.
Fitness is going to be the foundation of that.
Yeah. For sure. Because without it, there is no longevity.
Right.
Without it, we risk all these other different things that we can actually prevent through fitness, health, wellness, active lifestyles, eating right, sharing the right information, helping one another.
Yeah, absolutely. And the physical benefits are fantastic. In the studio, the majority of people that come in, especially since they're women, have some sort of, physical trigger. They've seen themselves in a picture, or they caught a glimpse of themselves in the mirror. They've tried to put pants on that aren't fitting. And that was their trigger to do something about it. But we know it's so much bigger than that. It is, it's that really, even it might be the reason why you step out and get started. It's never the reason why you stick around, because the happy consequence of exercising is going to be sustaining a healthy weight. But the active benefits, the mental, the emotional, just like you said, getting on point with your whole being really starts with that fitness element.
Right. And that's why my mission as a public health service person first, public health servants, and that's just something that you can be considered too, is that we take away just this is fitness, right? This is holistic health.
Absolutely.
This is public health. This is individual health, community health. We need to look at it bigger than just your pants now don't fit you, right? There's all these other elements that come into play when we're talking about being healthy people and being well. So if I ask you, are you well? I'm not asking you what size is your bicep, what do your abs look like? Like, I really want to know you as Kelly in every single way, family, personal, whatever. How are you, right? And so I'm on a mission to shift the conversation, right? So when we talk about the relationships that are being established in Studio 4, I'm sure and certain that they are going beyond just the workout that they did. Right? And that's the key thing in sustaining these type of opportunities that are going to keep our individuals and communities healthy, is that we don't just look at one element of it, that we look at the greater scheme of what we're trying to accomplish and just moving people forward in their life and ensuring that they're living optimal health, and that we encourage this type of interaction and connection amongst everybody, where we're not just relying on one source to get it done. We actually have established established networks and resources to ensure that this thing goes on until the end of time.
Yeah, I love that. I'm hiring younger people. That's how I'm going to push this on to the end of time. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Camille, you are amazing. Thank you so much for being with me today. And I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to Full Range Fitness with Kelly Range on the End Resultz Radio Network from the Perimeter Roofing Studio inside the Country Inn and Suites by Radisson in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Please stay tuned for upcoming shows or to hear past shows. I'll let you know where to find those things, and you can look anywhere you get your podcasts. And until next time, this has been another episode of Full Range Fitness with Kelly Range. A massive thank you to Miss Camille Gonzalez, and thank you for tuning in.